Earth, the planet that we live on, home to nearly 10 billion people. But is it home to all of us? Some of us are not from here, and we know it. Maybe not consciously, but on a subconscious level, we know we don't belong here. So where did we come from? Which galaxy did we originate from? Who are our original people? We have to ask ourselves, are we from the Milky Way galaxy or from somewhere else? We are on a constant journey of searching where we belong and why we exist in the first place. But are the explanations from earthly religions going to answer these questions for us? So many people these days have questions of life and existence, but are left empty with only more questions after following some earthly belief structure for years. We also wonder, why are some people born with incredible talents and seemingly have an advantage over others intellectually, and some fall short? Do we reincarnate and learn through our existence, giving us an advantage in our next lifetimes? Or do we live only one lifetime and go to heaven like religion tells us? Some people believe we're in a simulation and our lives are being controlled by powerful beings. Some people believe that a creator deity presides over us and dictates every aspect of our lives. Or do we have control over our own lives completely, and we decide every aspect of our existence? We live on a planet that's shrouded in mystery with ancient structures that were built, but we have no definitive way of explaining how this was accomplished. Did other people from another planet come to Earth in the distant past and help our ancestors build these megalithic structures? Also, do ghosts exist, or are they figments of our wild imaginations? Have the hundreds of sightings of Bigfoot and other cryptids been fabrications of people that were seeking attention? Or have they been here with us all of this time? We also have to ask the question about our genetics and why we are so barbaric and warlike. Were we genetically manipulated by other human beings to be predisposed to barbaric tendencies? Have other humans and people from the great expanse of the cosmos been coming here for millions of years, and people are only denying this fact? I'm going to delve into these things: reincarnation, spirituality, existence, UFO encounters, the paranormal, science, genetics, and the future on livestream, and discuss with you, the listeners, and try to figure out the truth of all these mysteries. And maybe, just maybe, we'll find out together that we are all not from Earth.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Thank you for joining my podcast tonight, live on Patreon. We are all not from Earth. If it's your first time listening, I talk about various topics, UFOs, reincarnation, true meaning to life, um, cryptozoology, government conspiracies, all of it. And yeah, I'm going to be going into a very popular so-called theory tonight about chemtrails. So I did try to do an episode last weekend. I had some technical difficulties with the audio. I think I got it figured out now. It could have been the internet connection, but also there was some strange stuff that happened, like I felt like some radio frequencies like hitting me, and felt kind of dizzy, and lost my whole train of thought. It's very odd. I don't know what to think about it, but kind of got me thinking on the terms of these 5G towers and Wi-Fi and chemtrails, combining it all together, and it led me down this research rabbit hole to do episode on chemtrails. So I'm gonna do that. I posted something on Reddit. It's a post called "Deception Becomes Reality When People Fail to See Things Clearly." So I had a couple questions on that. I wanted to clarify that. I'm not sure if the people that asked the questions they're on tonight, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So, but yeah, I'll delve into that. I'm gonna explain what that post was about, it is pretty much like, self-explanatory, but I guess people had questions about it, where I talked about what's really going on. That's the episode I tried to do last weekend. Try to do it on making all the connections with all this UFO disclosure going on, and what's really behind that. Like, if there's going to be anything, valid, like anyone's going to admit that there's such things of other human beings from other planets, and unless it's just some nonsense to throw us off, and that's what it is pretty much. But do a couple updates on what's going on in the news. Apparently, Donald Trump, he took a trip out with some CEOs and Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller out to China to beg Xi Jinping for money. That's what it was about. Unbelievable. What a submissive coward. First of all, he ruins the American economy. He completely ruins it. Him and his corporation leaders and his zealots and thugs, they go on. They start a war in Iran, cost billions and billions of dollars, tens and tens of billions of dollars to this day. Ruins the economy. Tries to rob the American people of their tax money. So apparently that's going to get pushed through. Where not only is he going to win that lawsuit of $10 billion against the IRS, but guess what? It's coming out of our pockets. So we're literally giving this scam artist our money. Yeah, that's not going to fly for too much longer. If that goes through, I can tell you there are going to be massive, massive protests going on. There already are protests going on in Washington, D.C. People are waking up to this, guys. You have to wake up to this. This is unbelievable. Um, what this man has done is completely destroyed America, even though it wasn't perfect to start out with. But he is on his own vendetta against anyone that speaks out against him. Um, Trying to make money. His sons are trying to make money. His corporation buddies are making billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, and he's suing people left and right. And it seems like he's got people in the right places to become successful at this. But guys, it's a failed endeavor. Um, Anyone that does things like this, that lies, deceives, manipulates, uses the justice system to their own ends, it's eventually going to catch up to them. And people will not stand for this too long. Even though I'm absolutely shocked. Um, you know, People's reaction to all this. People are not getting angry enough. This is unbelievable. You have to stand up for what you believe in. You can't let somebody like that get away with it. It doesn't matter if he is the commander in chief. He cheated his way into office. He manipulated with the elections, and now he's using that to his advantage. He put all of his little soldiers in place, to be as successful as possible. That wasn't his master plan. That was somebody else's master plan. I'm telling you, this guy is not capable of coordinating anything like that. He doesn't have the mental capacity to do it. He doesn't, and he claims that he has such a high intellect. No, he doesn't. I'm telling you, he has like 109 IQ at best, and that might be on the generous side. So yeah. So if he wants, I will take an IQ test, and he will take an IQ test, and we'll see who scores higher. I can guarantee you that I will. I promise you that. So yeah, the last time I took one, I was like 196. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do like a really really professional IQ test here sometime soon, and I have to like brush up on mathematics and stuff like that. But I think that I'll pretty much blow my old score out of the water because I've learned a lot. That was years and years ago. So, but yeah, that man is intellectually deficient, and he's doing all these things. He's plotting and scheming, and he went over there to beg the president of China. Unbelievable, guys. That is so submissive. He's such a bootlicker. Oh my goodness. He is not fit to lead anything or anyone. Plus, that wasn't even him. Um, if you see like the videos of him walking down that Air Force One and walking with Xi Jinping, um, you know, you can most definitely tell that his double is like 40 pounds lighter than he is and a little bit more agile, even though he's out of shape. So I'm still going to have to do like a sort of video that compares and contrasts all the public appearances that he's made. But guys, it's most definitely not him. He's using a double, and I can tell you right now that is highly, highly illegal. You cannot, as a president or vice president or anyone that's within the Oval Office, the cabinet, you cannot have another human being go on record for you. There cannot be two, presidents of the United States. So that right there, that's an impeachable offense. And if people find that out, then we can get rid of them right away because you cannot do that. This is not Iraq. Saddam Hussein had a double, but this is not Iraq. There's laws in place um, to prevent that from happening. The commander in chief has to be of sound mind and body, physically fit, mentally fit to lead this country. If he is undergoing treatments while his double is going to China and making public appearances, which he is, and you can see the evidence on his hand from all the IV infusions that he's getting from these multiple diseases that he has, then guess what? That is illegal. You can't do it, and he is unfit. So you can invoke him to become impeached immediately, absolutely immediately. There is no, uh, you know, loophole around that. There's no loophole. He has to go. So I don't know. I'll do a video on it. Hopefully, it picks up some views, and people may look into this. But guys, that is what's going on. He has a very very convincing double, but honestly, there's weight differences, and he's relatively about the same height. It kind of looks like he has like shin extensions because his shins are a little bit longer than they should be, proportionate to his body. So um, I'll have to do a whole like scientific analysis on that and make it with the facts. So, guys, I'm absolutely convinced that he does have a double, and everybody knows it. I think everybody's on the inside; they know it. There's no way that Caroline Levitt can't know it. There's no way that Mike Johnson can't know it. Stephen Miller definitely knows it. His wife most definitely knows it, even though they don't spend any time together. Um, everyone that's on the inside, they have to know it. Even the generals have to know it. Maybe the man that was going to push the nuclear button on Iran, that wasn't actually Donald Trump himself. He was just going by the orders that Donald Trump said, and they had to kick him out of the war room or whatever when they're talking about Iran. So maybe he's the one that that is insane. They're both insane anyway, but who knows? I mean, that's I'm gonna prove it right. I'm good as best as I can, unless he comes out and he literally like admits that he is using a double. Guys, that is the smoking gun that we need to get rid of this monster, both of them, and the entire administration. Because if anyone like the vice president knows about this, that he is using a body double, they are complicit and they will be held against to the full extent of the law. But um, just got to prove it though. So and got to kind of force him to admit it. Imagine that both of them get up and do like a public address, both of them standing side by side, and I haven't heard one single theory about this. I'm the only one that has this theory that he is using an actual body double. Maybe there are others out there, but they're getting silenced. But I don't know. But yeah, this is purely logical to me, and that's the conclusion that I've come up with. So yeah, so that whole little China meeting that was about selling Nvidia stocks, the microchips, which funny enough, he invested at least $1 million into Nvidia. So he's going to make some money on that. He's going to sell China, some AI tech also. That's why Elon Musk was there. Grok. They're going to go back into AI. They're going to do data centers. And he went over there to beg him for money because we're literally tapped out of money. The national debt is encroaching $40 trillion. Guys, that is more money than everyone in the United States that is not a billionaire can make in our lifetimes combined. How is that possible that we are $40 trillion in debt? It's because of all the wars, war profiteering, um, spending their money on secret projects. That's what it is. Stealing the money from the American people, borrowing from other countries. That's where the debt comes from. It comes the majority of it comes from China and Russia, some from European countries, South American countries. So you add all that up together, that's the money that America owes to other countries. And then they were talking about like ending printing money. His Fed, you know, person that he put into the Fed, where Jerome Powell was, he stepped down, but he's still on the board of the Federal Reserve. Um, was talking about going strictly towards digital currency. So that means like Apple Pay, you know, bank transfers, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, and cryptocurrency. So that's the current course that we're on right now, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also a way that they can hide, their traces of money laundering. So yeah, it seems like we are on the age of divesting away from actual paper money. I don't think that's even possible, honestly. I really don't. I don't think it's possible to get rid of cash completely, but that's going to take years to do. That's not something you can just like snap your fingers and poof, all the cash is gone. Honestly, it's just paper. And the thing is, what you see in on your bank statement when you open up an app or you look on a computer, guys, that's just ones and zeros. That's all it is. It literally doesn't exist. And they have such a convoluted system and a way of doing things that they can very very easily hide their nefarious activities. So that's what it's probably about hiding where this money is going. They can manipulate with the encryption on all this stuff. They control it. NSA controls it. CIA controls it, and they can do whatever they want. They can literally like drain money out of our bank accounts if they wanted to, because you've got Berkshire Hathaway that owns Bank of America and Wells Fargo, and guess what? They can do whatever the heck they want. So, guys, this is scary. I really, really need people to wake up. We have to, join together, and we have to, fight these people that are trying to manipulate with us. The only way that this situation is going to get resolved is if we come together and we band together and we start getting more intelligent and doing the fact checking, and then push these people out because they can be pushed out. It is possible. And it's never going to last forever because they have all these lies piling up on top of each other. They're literally rotting from the inside, and they are evil to the core. So this whole like UFO disclosure, um, guys, it's just a bunch of nonsense. I keep on seeing people like going crazy about these videos and these documents, about this Ezrael guy on this one secret document, uh, talking about they were transporting an angel and all that kind of nonsense. It has nothing to do with the religious aspect of it. Other human beings are just like us. They look different. They're from different planets, different galaxies. They have different type ships, but they have absolutely nothing to do with the religious aspect of it, and that's what they're trying to push. You have like that representative Tim Burchett. I think he's from Tennessee, the state that I live in. He keeps on going on these news shows and podcasts talking about, how uh, aliens are demons, that vice president said that they're demons. Who the heck cares what JD Vance says? He is one of the most unintelligent people in office right now. He is just a bootlicking, um, you know, moron that doesn't have a single, individual thought in his head. Why would you listen to that idiot? He doesn't know whether he's Christian or Catholic. He insults the Pope with defends Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth when they were insulting the Pope. I don't like the Pope either. He's negative and evil, but that whole ridiculous back and forth like that, he was defending the wrong side, and then he goes on and tells people that he's Catholic. So what are you, JD? What are you, Catholic? Are you evangelic Christian? Do you support the president? Do you support uh, the Holy See of Rome? What do you do? He doesn't know. He has no loyalty whatsoever. He's just a butt kisser. So yeah, they don't trust what any of these people say, and they are absolutely insane. All it is just to distract from the Epstein files, to distract from the Iran war, to distract from this testing of this reverse engineered otherworldly technology. And the purpose of that, they go around, they kidnap innocent children, women and men. They take them to these underground facilities and they run tests on them. What they're doing is they're trying to create like super soldiers. They're trying to create very, very tall super soldiers, and they're trying to figure out a way to extend their lives out. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to actually become immortal. They really, really think these top families and corporations, they really think that they can like live forever. Guys, I promise you, there's no way to physically live forever. Now, your spirit form lives forever. It does live on forever, but that's just not possible. And these idiots really think that they're going to achieve this. It's not going to be achieved. Plus, you have other human beings preventing them from making any sort of genetic and technological advancements before this civilization is mature enough. We are far, far, far from mature enough to start making all these genetic and technological advancements and even leaving the system. They cannot leave the system. I've even seen theories where people were saying that, um, this one guy, man, what was his name? I forget his name. I'll have to look it up. But he says that he was asked to help out, that the elites are playing an exodus to another system out there. No, they're not. They can't leave. They can't leave the system. It's just not possible. They do not have the technological means to leave the Earth system. Plus, the Federation of Light is never going to let them leave while they're genetically manipulated. Federation of Light is not going to let any of us leave until that starts to get resolved and positive people are in places of power. They will start letting us venture out and exploring the galaxy um, sometime in the next 250 years. When technology advances, they are slowing down the progress. They have been doing this for decades now, and I'm literally seeing the proof. And that's not going to happen. I don't understand where that ridiculous theory came out. But I saw some of the comments. People were like, "Let them leave. Go ahead and leave Earth, leave us alone, or whatever." Yeah, I wish that was possible. The only way that that's going to happen is if other human beings come here, they take these negative individuals and they put them on that prison planet that they were planning on putting them more than 20 years ago, or if they terraform Mars and then put them on Mars, preventing them from grouping together in a general population. That's the only way they're going to do it, or create a space prison to put them in. That's exactly what I would do. I would create a technologically advanced space prison, and I would put, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of millions of negative individuals up there. Evil scientists, politicians, um, popes, priests, cardinals, bishops, anybody of royalty, anybody that's complicit, murderers, child molesters, rapists. necrophiliacs, people who commit bestiality, all of them. I put all of them in a space prison, get them out of sight, out of mind. But apparently, the play R don't do that. So I really, really think that Patah's going to change his mind and he's going to end up doing something, as he has to do something, because there are some crazy things going on right now, and you know the whole agenda that they're trying to do. Yeah, they're trying to achieve that, to leave the system. They're trying to make themselves impervious to any disease and virus and degenerative disorder, which that is not negative in itself. It's just a way that they're going about doing it, experimenting on kidnapped children, homeless people, women and men, and they're taking them to these secret underground facilities. That's what it's all about. That's what they're using this technology to do. They're making it look like it's some sort of alien abduction, but it's not. I promise you, it's human beings that are doing this. Private contractors, people that work for these corporations that fund all these projects, and they are funneling trillions upon trillions of dollars into this technology, guys. They've been doing this since 1947, since the Roswell crash, and they wanted to capitalize on this, so they corroborated worldwide. Eventually, like in the 70s, they started connecting facilities, underground cities all throughout the world with these magnetic levitation trains. And it literally goes underneath the ocean and the Earth's crust. There's secret facilities and cities on every single continent on the planet, and that's how they travel back and forth very, very quickly through these maglev trains, and you have hundreds of millions of people down there. So you have like probably a quarter of the people that are on the surface down there in these underground secret facilities. Honestly, I don't know the exact population of the people that live there full time, but they do live there full time. And then you have certain individuals that have certain clearance that are able to go down there, check up on these projects, and then come back out to the surface like nothing ever happened. So the Tic Tac UFO, that was reverse engineered. That most certainly was. That's something that they developed. They advanced that. It cannot leave the system, guys. None of these ships can leave the system. They have to master the power of electrons. They have to be able to harness the electron power. Um, they're not going to do it. It's not going to happen because then they'll be able to leave. So the Federation of Light Andromedans are preventing them from doing that. Um, they're doing a whole lot of other things, sending telepathic impulses to people, certain advancements with medical sciences, genetics, doing peace meditations, um, stopping, the construction of powerful weapons that can destroy the planet, and several other things. But they have a non-interference policy. This is the thing. Most technologically, spiritually evolved peoples, guys, they cannot interfere with human beings or any other people of whatever classification that are in like lower vibrational frequencies. So literally, we are kind of at the beginning of spiritual evolution. Some of us aren't. Myself, I have thousands upon thousands of previous lifetimes. There are others on Earth that have lived hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes, and then there's of course Billy Meyer, which he's lived an entire physical and half physical, half spiritual existence already, and ascended to the purely spiritual. He is the spiritually oldest on Earth. I'd have to say that I'm one of the spiritually older. Um, I don't know my exact origin, but I know that I've lived thousands of lifetimes because I've been having past life dreams. So I've actually seen this for myself. So guys, that is the truth. That is the truth of everything. We live more than one lifetime. It's not possible. It's not physically possible, intellectually possible, spiritually possible to learn everything that you can possibly learn in just one lifetime. It doesn't work that way. So, and we don't go to heaven. There is no heaven utopia, and we don't go to hell. So, unfortunately, the bad, horrible people, they're not going to suffer in some fiery inferno. And you have disgusting zealots. I'm gonna put up this video. They did alter his voice a little bit, but my goodness, this is one of the most disgusting human beings that has ever existed, and he is a religious man. So let me see. Let me add that.
This covenant of blood. What blood? The blood?
We gotta restart this.
This covenant of blood. What blood? The blood of this covenant. Glory to God. Cut the covenant with his Father God.
Glory.
Yes, like Moses of old. There's the coming one. Oh! Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it. Absolutely stunning. Sis. Delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years. And he said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother, preach it. Just before the cross. And we have a healing covenant. Dwells in me, the pure, spotless blood of God. And Hesed was performed for me. He's my blood brother, and my father is my friend. And as he is, so are we in this world. Glory to God, I don't have it. I never will have it. And I don't mind telling you, I'll never be sick again in my life hereafter forever. Not one time.
In 1838, Edgar Allan Poe.
Anyway, if you guys are listening on Apple Podcast, that's some crazy stuff there. Huh? That is preacher, mega church preacher, Kenneth Copeland, one of the most insane individuals on this planet. Man, I literally like it's so cringy to watch something like that. And guys, this is a man that is worth nearly $800 million. People donate their money to him. They write their wills to him. Throughout their lifetime, they donate thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I even heard a story that this lady, she passed. Like, she was donating, for years and years to Kenneth Copeland, and then she passed. And then her relative, her son, was staying at her house. I guess he took over the house and received a letter, looked through her mail, and Kenneth Copeland, or one of his people, wrote a letter asking her, why you're not donating money anymore. You've got to be kidding me. It's because she's not around anymore. But he doesn't care to fact check that stuff. So he has made nearly $800 million on record. Who knows how much, he's got illegal money squirreled away. Guys, this is a representative of this God person. This is just sick, and he's not the only one. You got Joel Osteen, you got Creflo Dollar, you got all these other priests and preachers and deacons, and all of them, guys, they're just religious nut jobs. You ever hear someone that talks like I do about reincarnation and other lifetimes and exploring space, and go on a long tantrum like that, speaking in tongues, and it's just, people say he's possessed by a demon. He's not possessed by a demon. So what it is, and I tried to explain this on my Reddit post. So the way that the things that he does is sexually depraved. He molests children. He rapes women. Probably molests animals also, and he does evil ritualistic sacrifices. That's what they all do. They practice these evil rituals through Thelemus blood sex magic, which Aleister Crowley created. And what this does by, having innocence and taking their innocence away from them, they literally create negative energies. They siphon it off. Also, they create like adrenal blood. When someone is, they're wielding a knife and they're getting ready to kill you, your adrenaline goes up and your blood fills with, adrenaline. It's called adrenal blood. And they use that. Sometimes they like pump it through their bodies. They they drink it. They use it in evil rituals. They put it in the food supply. They do all kinds of stuff with it. Um, and they manifest negative energies. They absorb these negative energies by doing these hateful things, by murdering these innocent people, and it makes them feel powerful, just like Kenneth Copeland feels. He really, really thinks that he's powerful. Guys, he is a disgusting disgrace of a human being, and so many gullible people give him money and go to like his mega churches and worship him like he's God himself. He really does think that he is God himself. That's what he thinks. That's what all these people do. That's what they're doing underneath these secret facilities. They're manifesting negative energies. They do that in Hollywood. They do that in the Catholic Church. They do that, in the Rothschilds complexes, mansions, castles, all of it. They all practice these things. And the precursor for all this was the Order of the Dragon, which Vlad Dracul and his father were a part of that, and it sort of mutated into the Society of Jesus and other secret organizations, and they still practice it to this very day. It is absolutely disgusting, guys. This is what's going on. That's why they kidnap these innocents, so they can use them as their guinea pigs and test subjects, and they can perform these sexually depraved, murderous rituals on them. This is what's going on in the world, guys. You need to open up to the possibility that this is going on. It happened in the past. It's literally written in the textbooks that people did this stuff. And if you look 100 years ago, there's proof that it existed then too. Even in the 1980s, there was this satanic cult scare. It's still going on. Just because that was 40 years ago, it doesn't matter that what all of a sudden they just poof stopped. And it's usually not the regular people that are doing it. It's usually the elites that are doing this stuff, or so-called elites. I don't like to call them elites because they're all losers, but guys, that's what they're up to. They're trying to develop the most advanced technology to wage war, to go out to other systems and spread their, supremacy through religious delusion, because they know that putting people into a religion is highly, highly effective. What it does is it robs you of any shred of self responsibility. You push your responsibility onto some sort of creator deity, and it robs you of your individual free thinking. That's what it's always done. That's the reason why the first human beings from other planets came here, and they did that in the first place. The Syrians Federation, when they created the religious delusion, they were hoping that it would destroy these barbaric people. They would destroy themselves. So it's a very, very effective mind washing, brainwashing tool that a lot of people have used, and they see how effective it is. And people throw their money to these popes, priests, cardinals, deacons, mega church pastors, all of them. They're just literally just like throwing it at them, hoping that they can get some sort of salvation and welcome into heaven, because it doesn't exist. Man, I really wish people would wake up. I don't judge anybody for what they believe in, but guys, you gotta start becoming open minded to the possibility of this. None of this UFO stuff has anything to do with demons or angels or God Himself. That's the narrative that they're trying to play. They're trying to play both sides in the narrative. You have Representative Luna, Anna Paulina Luna. She is playing both sides. I can promise you, she is not a good person. Don't fall for that nonsense. Oh, I care about disclosure and all that. No, she doesn't. No, she does. She is working on the inside. She is a government plant. They specifically put her in that role because she's likable and people can relate to her. She's young. Seems like an independent woman with some intelligence, but I promise you, she is working both sides. Representative Tim Burchett is working both sides. And he licks the boots of Donald Trump also. So you can pretty much tell that he is working both sides. Then you got this Eric Burleson. He is working the religious angle of it. And he's a weirdo. He's a freaking weirdo. He's a religious zealot nut job. He's a everything that comes out of that man. He's just such a strange individual. Then you got JD Vance talking about the religious aspect of it. Um, you got like Elizondo. He's always talking about disclosure, but yet he works for the CIA and NSA. Guys, you cannot believe any of these people. You can't. Anyone that's like popular, you can't believe what they're saying. Some other podcasters, Joe Rogan's in on it. Dave Rubin is a bootlicking, submissive little idiot. And he has his political propaganda that he spits out, and he's honestly a moron. He's Dave Rubin is an absolute moron. So, um, and you know what? People like me that connect all the dots, that figure all this stuff out for facts. No one ever listens. No one ever does, and that's the sad part. It has nothing to do with wanting to become famous or popular. I just want people to see the truth. That's all. That's all that I want. That's all that I've ever wanted. People to think for themselves, be individuals, and figure this stuff out for yourself, guys. It's just a hot mess of nothing but propaganda, and you have all these people that are perpetuating this stuff. It is really, really sickening. So that kind of explains some of the Reddit posts. The rest of it, it's about reincarnation. You'll have to read it. All that part is pretty much self-explanatory, guys. I mean, we are part pieces of creation. Our spirit forms are created at a certain point in time. Um, there are people that are spiritually older, and there are people that are spiritually younger. The ones that are in their first lifetimes on Earth, they suffer from intellectual deficiencies, so like Down syndrome, things of that nature. That explains it. They don't have previous life experience like those of us that are somewhat intelligent, and kind of stand out in the crowd. We're the ones that have more and more lifetimes under our belts, spiritual belts. All that information gets stored in your comprehensive consciousness block, which is a part of your spirit form, which is a piece of creation. So we live and we evolve and we learn and we grow more intelligent. The more intelligent we grow, the more things that we learn, we become spiritually powerful. And then we eventually ascend to the purely spiritual after around about 116 million years from that point in time where our spirit forms are created. We go through thousands upon thousands, maybe even millions of physical lifetimes, and the half physical, half spiritual existence, which lasts about 56 million years, roughly. So that's just the average. So the physical lifetimes, they last about 40 to 60 million years. And then the half physical, half spiritual existence, like a wavering state between spiritual and physical. And you're in the high council stage at that point. That lasts roughly about 56 million years. And then after that, you ascend to the Arahat Athersato level, and then all the way up to the Patali level. And then that equates to a little bit over 3 billion years since your spirit form was created. And then you assimilate and ascend to the creational level, spiritual level, and you become one with our creation. And then you contribute your spiritual power and knowledge, and live in such a beautiful existence. But guys, that's not the end of the road either. There's still more and more evolution to go. There are many other levels to evolution. There are rest periods within this creation, there are sleep periods, and then there are wake periods. So um, then finally transition into a fine matter creation, and then you evolve up to absolutum forms, which starts at the absolutums that creates all the physical creations and universes, and then all the way up to the sign absolutum, SEIN absolutum. And then that's where the journey ends, but you continue to exist forever, guys. We exist forever on a spiritual level, but we cannot exist forever on a physical level. It's just not possible. The reason why we are in lifetimes, physical lifetimes, is to learn and to experience life, to find love, to explore, to uncover mysteries, to create amazing music and beautiful artwork and very interesting architecture. That's why we're alive. We're not alive to be put into a belief structure or subjected. We're supposed to be free. And that's one of the points that I was trying to make, and that we're all equal. Even the creational level, spiritual levels, guys, they're not better than we are. They're not. They are just further down the river of evolution than we are. We are further back than they are. We started after they did. They started before us. So this whole concept of holding a singular individual to the highest level above ourselves is wrong, and it's submissive. We're not supposed to submit ourselves or subject ourselves to anyone or anything. It does not work like that, I promise. So anyone that believes in, some sort of submissive belief structure or any other kind of individuality, robbing belief structure, it's just wrong. It really is wrong, and it's just to me, it's just bizarre. And like I've said before, I have no idea how I actually ended up on this civilization with religious delusion, but I could tell you I really don't have much experience with religious zealots. But here I am now. I guess I'm just gonna have to learn from this experience and try to survive the times. Even if I don't live too much longer, that's fine. I think that I've accumulated enough knowledge about negative energies and religious nut jobs and inconsiderate people, arrogant people. My goodness, this world is just full of disgusting, vile, arrogant, egotistical people. It's like everybody that I run into has like this, I don't know, like bravado. It's just, I don't have that. I'm a humble person, but every single person that I encounter has this like disgusting, I don't know, fog around them, like negative fog. There's bravado about them, and it's just getting worse. It's not getting better. People are becoming more and more arrogant, more and more. They're having more fits of rage, and that's what I wanted to discuss. Was one of the reasons why people are having these fits of rage. So I'm going to talk about chemtrails. All right, I'm going to add this to the stage. All right, so if you're listening on Apple Podcast, um, I'll just have to try to read this and articulate it the best that I can. Um, so chemtrails, huh? Everywhere you look on the internet, it just it says it's a conspiracy theory. Guys, it is not a conspiracy theory at all. It has been scientifically proven that there are chemicals in these chemtrails in the sky. All right, so if it was a conspiracy theory, then why are 8 U.S. states seeking to outlaw chemtrails? You have Florida, you have Tennessee, and you have Louisiana, and you have some other ones. You have like 5 other ones at least. I even read that a dozen states are trying to outlaw this. So if a dozen states are actively trying to prevent, these airplanes, these pilots from going on and spraying these things in the atmosphere, then why the heck are people calling it a conspiracy theory? That's because it's actual fact behind that. I really wish that people would stop using that word. It really aggravates me. Conspiracy theory. All right, so I'll put another one up here. All right, you have this is proof right here. This is Project Storm Fury. This was done between 1962 and 1983. They were trying to control hurricanes. So, since a hurricane's destructive potential increases rapidly at its strongest winds become stronger, reduction as small as 10% would have been worthwhile. So what they were doing, where's that chemical at that they were putting in here? I gotta read that closer. There was a chemical compound they were putting in here. Ah, there it is. Silver iodide. That's what it was. Yeah, I was thinking about mercury, but there is mercury in chemtrails though. But I was thinking about mercury. That's what they were using, silver iodide, for this project, and they were doing it through chemtrails, and it would control hurricanes. You have a little diagram here, and it worked. So there are people out there that say Hurricane Katrina was weather modification. That's the truth. That's because DARPA is doing this, and this was the Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory that did this study. So government agency doing this. So if there's no validity to this conspiracy theory, then why the heck are government organizations doing tests on this? So I'm gonna put another one up here. This was a scientific study by the Chemtrail Protection Organization, chemtrailprotection.org. So I'm just going to read it out. These are the like quick facts that they found. It's being done in all 50 states and all NATO countries being sprayed. The American people are not being told that they will spray next or being sprayed. Put the next one up here. All right, the chemicals that they use, that they have found through scientific processes, everyone. It's unbelievable. I'm going to explain a couple of these chemicals and what they do and where they come from. So you have independent tests across the U.S. have shown chemtrails to contain the following substances: aluminum, known to cause tinnitus; arsenic; barium salts, which is highly toxic in large amounts; you have cadmium, desiccated human blood cells. Where are they getting that from? Where are they getting desiccated human blood cells from? Kidnap victims. Ethylene, what is that? Dibromide. Okay, ethylene dibromide. Then you have lead, which is highly toxic. Magnesium. Magnesium is not so toxic, but then you have mercury. They're putting mercury into this. 150 years ago, moron doctors would, give people mercury treatments to solve certain issues, guys. Mercury is highly, highly toxic to us. They would put mold spores in there, also mycoplasma, polymer fibers, that means microplastics, and different sort of fabrics, which are toxic to us. They're literally putting microplastics in there. We are getting microplastics from pretty much everything that we encounter. If you microwave your food in a plastic Tupperware, guys, you're getting exposed to microplastics. There is a treatment that can remove these microplastics, not all of them because they're in our bone system. They're literally in our skeletal system, guys. If you grew up any point in time in like the 80s and 90s and 2000s, then guess what? It is infused into your bones. I have actually seen, X-rays showing microplastics that have grown into people's bones. It's in there. You also have radiocesium. So what that is, radiocesium is the byproduct of nuclear weapons testing, splitting the atom. Before they tested the first nuclear weapon, there was not any traces of cesium. There was some, like natural radiation that was in plants and, certain rocks and stuff like that. And from previous peoples that have used radioactive weapons before, yeah, there's been traces for that. But since the 1940s, there's been an uptick in, you know, radioactive material. So they're putting radiocesium into the chemtrails. All right, you also have sharp titanium shards, which can cut up your blood vessels when inhaled. Submicron particles, unidentified living bacteria. So they pretty much put whatever the heck they want into it. And guess what? They can put viruses into it. If you can put living bacteria, you can put viruses like the hantavirus into it. And I'm going to pull some slides up for that also. And they're putting uranium and many other toxins. So the side effects of this, you have allergies, anxiety, asthma, brain fog, breathing difficulties, chronic sore or raspy throat, dizziness, earaches, eye and skin irritations. And put this other one up. Flu-like symptoms, headaches, heat flashes, itching, unexplained itching, metallic taste in your mouth, nausea, vomiting, nosebleeds, panic attack, persistent coughing, rashes, respiratory problems, short-term memory loss, stomach aches, suicidal thoughts, tinnitus, short-term ringing in the ears after spraying, and many other symptoms. So those are some of the symptoms and some of the chemicals, guys. That's not even the entire list of chemicals that they put in the chemtrails. So also, I'm going to put this up. So I was looking into the hantavirus. So it says unknown bacterial that they found, multiple bacteriums, they put viruses into the chem. You can literally do that, guys. There's a way to put viruses into the chemtrails. And guess what they do? They infect us. We absorb it in our skin. We breathe it in along with all the other harmful materials. And it's possible that we're infected with multiple diseases and viruses that haven't been activated yet. So this is from the CDC. Hantaviruses can infect and cause serious disease in people worldwide. People get hantavirus from contact with rodents like rats or mice, especially when exposed to their urine droppings and saliva. It can also spread through a bite or scratch by a rodent, but this is rare. Hantaviruses cause two syndromes. Hantaviruses found in the Western Hemisphere, including here in the United States, can cause hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. The most common hantaviruses that cause HPS or hantavirus pulmonary syndrome in the United States is spread by the deer mouse. Also, hemorrhagic fever with renal syndromes is a group of clinical similar illnesses caused by hantavirus found mostly in Europe and Asia. However, Seal virus, a type of hantavirus that causes HFRS, is found worldwide, including the United States. This is freaking scary. All right. You have, the renal failure, you have headaches, you have dizziness, you have chills, abdominal pains, muscle aches. Those are some of the symptoms. You have hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, intense headaches, and this may take up to 8 weeks to develop. So the people that they just released from that cruise ship, well, they haven't been quarantined for 8 weeks, have they? So, and here's a third one. You have fever, chills, nausea, blurred vision, low blood pressure, lack of blood flow, acute shock, internal bleeding, vascular leakage, acute kidney failure, which can cause severe fluid overload. And your kidneys, they are like the sort of filter system for your blood. So if your filters go out, what does that mean? If any of you have like these, like Brita water pitchers or, some sort of pitcher that from the spout or a pitcher that filters water out, and I highly, highly, highly suggest that people do that, guys. Do not drink tap water. Do not drink regular tap water. You need to filter your water out. You either need to boil it or you need to use some sort of like filtration system because there are so many unbelievable chemicals in the water. It is not clean to drink. Even though I'm guilty of it sometimes, but I try not to do it anymore though. But just like to brush your teeth or, take a shower, you can't filter your shower water unless you're rich and you have one of those big filters. But yeah, this is some scary stuff. They can literally put um, any sort of disease or virus into chemtrails. And what they need to do is they need to activate it. So you've got all those heavy metals in there. You have magnesium, you have the radiocesium in there. This can be initiated through radio frequencies. I don't think that I put up that. No, I didn't do it. I didn't put that other picture up here. Anyway, I'll just have to explain it. But yeah, you can cause um, metals to excite with certain radio frequencies, and that's what they do with the 5G towers. I gotta look that up. Let me see if I can put that up without crashing the internet connection. Let me see, because I did mean to put that up. I just didn't do it. Image file. There we go. All right, I got it. I got it to go up now. I'm gonna add this to the stage. All right. No, it's not the same one, is it? Hmm. All right, there we go. All right, so this is literal proof. Um, so I'm gonna read it out. Devices that produce high temperature argon plasma. Usually it's used in like torches and stuff like that. But however, several industrial and research devices are designed to generate high temperature argon plasma, each using different methods to ionize argon gas and sustain it at extreme temperatures. Um, and you can do this through radio frequency. So, high frequency current in a copper induction coil generates a magnetic field that induces an electric current in the argon gas, ionizing in its plasma. Temperature range can reach up to 10,000 Kelvin. All right, so what that means, I'm going to remove that. What that means is that these towers, these radio frequency towers, what are they made out of? Other metal to hold them up, but they are copper coils. So they can literally control this. You can create a radio frequency that will excite particles and will literally, the heavy metals that are in our blood cause you to have headaches, dizziness, and other things. And you can activate viruses this way. You can, even if they figured out a way to do nanotechnology, which they are working on that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to just throw that idea out there because I don't know for sure if they have done anything on a significant level with nanotechnology, but you can even activate nanites with that, microscopic robots. So what they're doing is with these radio towers, they are generating frequencies, and we are like absorbing these metals, heavy metals and toxins into us through these chemtrails, and they can control that whenever they want. They can literally broadcast to an entire city, an entire neighborhood, and they can cause people to get sick. There's been stories about this in the 70s and 80s when they were testing this stuff out, even the 90s. I haven't heard much about anything that's been going on like lately, but guys, it is possible. It's scientifically possible to do this. I've literally put the proof there. You can create these oscillating frequencies with copper, and these the electric wires are made out of copper. Um, 5G towers, all of it. I imagine that they're probably working on a way to do it with satellites in space in orbit. So um, the possibility is out there. Really, in a scientific capacity, guys, anything is really possible. You can literally do anything in a scientific capacity. But you see what they're working on? They're working on like negative things to control the population, to drive us crazy, to have outbursts of anger, to get sick. They're doing it. So Even the hantavirus was on X Files. I've just started like to restart watching that series. So, but I remember most of it, but I have to like catch up on it. But yeah, the hantavirus was even on X Files. They were talking about that. Mulder was talking about that, but it was some kind of alien virus. I don't think that's what it is. That's a little bit too far out there, even for me. That's a little far out there, but I'm just going by the scientific facts and the proof that people have done this. So chemtrails are real. They are capable of carrying bacteria and viral infections. So you gotta do the thought processing yourself. If you're a logical thinking person, what won't they do? They will literally experiment on the regular people if they have to, and I think that's the reason why these a minimum of 8 states, up to like a dozen states, maybe even more, are trying to outlaw chemtrails. So, who's doing it? If people in government are trying to like stop them from doing it, who's actually doing it? You got to wonder that it's definitely HARP. DARPA has something to do with it too. Um, and these corporations, they're using us as guinea pigs, guys. They don't care about us. They don't. None of them do. So stop thinking that your senator cares about you and corporation leaders care about you. No, they don't. They couldn't care less about you. All they care about is your money. They care about lying to you, and they care about human test subjects. That's it. So we have to care about each other, and we have to try to remove these people. But I got a little message for all of you out there that are up to these negative intrigues. Guys, it's never going to last forever. You have literally set yourself on a course of failure the moment that you decide to do these things. Yeah, you're learning a couple things, but trust me, you haven't learned the things that I've learned in previous lifetimes by doing things the positive way. So eventually your time is going to be up, no matter, what you do. Continue doing what you're doing. You'll be remembered as some of the sickest individuals that existed, and it will be for nothing because you're going to end up dying just like everybody else. So keep it up, or you can decide to change your ways and start sharing technology with the people on the surface, and then we can figure out a way to do this together. Because I can guarantee you, probably some of the people that you've taken down there in those secret cities and facilities, and you've tested on them, they could have probably helped out with a solution. They probably could have, because there are some spiritually older on Earth, but you've decided to, slaughter them and abuse them in sick, disgusting ways, and I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to tell you how to harness the power of an electron. I'm not going to tell you how to extend your life out, even though I can do it. I'm not going to do it. So you're just going to have to end my life. Do whatever you want to do your worst, or let's cooperate. How about that? Let's try something different. How about you just admit to the things that you have been doing, and let's try to cooperate with people on the surface? Because, guys, this is never going to last forever. It isn't. It is literally creationally impossible for negative people to rule. It, it, it never lasts on any other civilization, and it's most definitely not going to last on this one. So, you know what? Keep on rotting from the inside out because you are infused with negative energies and you are a hateful person and you want to do all these horrible, disgusting things. And, the regular people are just going to watch you fall off, and you will not be remembered as anything but a disgusting person. Guys, everyone is subject to life and death. We cannot live forever. We cannot rule forever. That is not possible. That's the way the creation meant to do things. Because if it was possible for a certain group of people to rule over this one civilization or entire galaxy forever, man, we would be in trouble. We would really be in trouble. But that's not the way that it works. Eventually, everyone becomes positive, and eventually, the positive people take over a civilization. So, um, little words of hope to all of you out there, guys. It's not going to last forever, even though all these horrible things have been going on. It's your choice whether or not you want to believe me or not. I hope that you do, but um, we have to come to our conclusions. That's what I want. I want people to think for themselves. But I promise you, this stuff is real and it is going on. It is not conspiracy theory. And I've connected all the dots and done all the hard work, and I've seen things for myself. But it is just about over, this negative period, and I cannot wait for it to be over. But who knows? I may not. I may make it. I may not. That doesn't matter to me because I'm not a coward. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm not afraid of what comes, beyond. I know that I will live another lifetime, and I know this civilization will eventually get their freaking act together. But yeah, for those of you out there that are just delving into all these sick things, man, you're pathetic. You are pathetic because it's already a failure. You've already failed, and I'm literally seeing the proof everywhere. I'm seeing the proof that the Federation of Light is doing something. I'm seeing a little bit of proof that the civilization is evolving slowly, not as much as I'd like, but it is happening, and it's going to inevitably happen. It's going to continue to happen. So this little trick that they tried to pull with this UFO disclosure, it's only going to shoot them in the foot. They thought it was a nice little distraction, but guys, it's the beginning of the end of religious delusion. I can tell you that right now. People will figure that out. That God never existed, heaven never existed, the devil never existed, hell never existed, and there's just people out there. There's just us and other people, and the day is going to come where we're going to venture out there and we're going to see for ourselves. So I'm not worried about it. There is hope around the corner, guys. We are phasing into an inevitable age of you know golden prosperity, the Aquarius age, and it is going to happen. That's because creation has decreed that it must happen, so it has to happen, and we are all going to benefit from this, and people will start to awaken. So hopefully, what I do helps people along their path. Maybe brings some you know more open-minded people, and we'll figure things out, guys. We will figure it out. But yeah, that's about it for tonight. Um, I'm gonna try to put like some sort of short documentary on the comparing and contrasting Donald Trump, and I'm gonna see if I can try to like prove that he does have a double. Maybe that will be the first domino to fall to start knocking down the dominoes. Who knows? But yeah, I'll try to do that, and we'll do a Freaky Friday episode next Friday on ghost ships. I got to do some more research on it. That's a very interesting topic. Ghost ships that just like pop up out of nowhere. That's what a ghost ship is. There's no crew on it, and it just like literally pops up out of nowhere. There's a couple that I know about. One popped up in Boston, Massachusetts, and it was like a old pirate ship, and nobody was on board. All their stuff was there, but nobody was on board. So I find that really really fascinating. But I'm gonna do an episode on that Friday, next Friday. But that's it for tonight. Guys, hopefully that explains some things. Hopefully you learned a couple things. If you want to do this research into chemtrails, try to disprove me, or try to prove that I'm telling the truth, you're more than welcome to do that. Hopefully I pointed you in the right direction. And you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good rest of the week. I'll see you on the next episode, or I'll see you in the next lifetime.